Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? Oh wait, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, you expect me to believe that you walked in on this and said, "Oh, he's not dead. He's napping." I don't have water. Oh wait, so I don't have the thing set up right now, but when you do that, this is meant to play.
Hold it!
Except all I have is diet juice. Diet juice? Diet juice? Diet Coke. Diet juice. I love it. Diet Coke is not hydration. I'm aware of that. However, it would mean going downstairs and getting some water, which I'm not really wanting to do. ATM. Can't find anything wrong with this midnight. Jeez. All right. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what in the heck is going on in that brain of yours? You may begin your cross-examination. We've already done through the 3 boxes, basically. 24, you're 77. So in the last 2 weeks, we've gone through 72 boxes of Diet Coke. Almost 72 boxes, 72 cans. Almost 72 cans of Diet Coke. That's crazy. This is what it all comes down to, huh? This is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. That's a bit much. By 2 people, to be fair. Usually like, all that would be just Danny. But now this time, the 72 cans have been shared by the both of us. And like, I don't even like Diet Coke that much, but when there's so many of it, it's like, may as well drink it. A box a week. Bear in mind, that's 24 cans a week. That's almost like 3 cans a day, almost. But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right? But of course not. Then, who did you pour it for? Mr. Wright, there is a rhyme and reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer for it to be revealed to you? In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Do you know what this key is in? I'm not pitch perfect, so I can figure it out. I think it's in D. It was in D. Yeah, D minor, with a weird sort of mode, I think. D. So this part is D, Dorian mode though. Dorian mode, so it hits the B. I think it's just D minor, yeah. D minor Dorian, I think. How exactly are you playing? How do you mean? Oh, I've got on my keyboard. Oh yeah, I've got Reaper open. I got a keyboard in front of me. So my music and my streaming setup is all the same. And then I've got like a little virtual piano thing. So I've hooked it up. So I've got a thing that shows the keyboard, like a virtual keyboard thing. And I've got it set up so it shows what I'm playing on my keyboard as MIDI information. But I've also got Reaper in the background. I can put on the piano too, actually. But yeah. I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people, summit, and then what did you see next, witness? One who was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. Oh, word of note real quick. So I will be using this layout at some point in the future. This will be for productive streams, if that makes sense. So I'll be using this when I'm making music. So I will do a music stream on Twitch at some point. And then I will, and sometimes I'll be working on the game I'm making, called Paddlesall Quest. More information about that in the About section of my Twitch page. But yeah, sorry. Here we go. Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. She really said this man was sleeping. Wait, is it me or did that sound right? That right there sound a little odd. I don't know. What did she say? Head forward, eyes closed. Then what did cross your mind? I thought maybe you'd smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. But then, oh, this is an absolute lie. Then felt tired after his rampage and decided to take a nap. Anyways, that's what I thought. I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all. How is anyone believing this? You thought he fainted? I thought he was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state. But you made it a messy state. I thought he had gotten into a fight with someone. And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice? Yes, he always has a hard time waking up. So Juan always has a glass of tomato juice to drink. I see. What happened after that? What happened next? When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. And how did you come to realize that he was in fact dead? I shook him over and over but never got a response, so I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backward. I knocked the flower vase over, so that's what happened. Yes. Okay. Wow. Didn't she see the knife? Well, maybe not there. But maybe... here. Nope. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. Slumped over. Yes, he was sitting there with his head tilted forward and eyes closed. Sure. He really looked like he was sleeping. So me did that right there sound a little odd. What about it would have sounded odd though? He was strangled, yeah. There it is. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, so it must be okay, wait, it must be this one, right? Because that's the only one where Phoenix Wright, you know, says something sounded a little odd. Just sitting slumped over and tired, looking in the corner. But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that statement because that is true. There we go. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? Not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body. What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There is a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corridor's chest. Anyone who saw the scene would have immediately thought there was a dead man. That's, well, you see, I doubt a single person in the world would have mistaken this for someone who fainted and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is, Mr. Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. The knife is purely an accessory, indeed. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt and Guard, is not guilty after all. But it's impossible, you're wrong. Try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But you were the one who refused to testify, and your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because, Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. Again? Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt and Guard's innocence has clearly been demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Mattangard. Objection! Of course, something doesn't sit right. It would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. The absolute real truth. What are you, witness? Don't you understand yet? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Mattangard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. I was told if I spoke, then it would all be over and Matt would never be declared guilty. Wait, what? I can't speak about it, I'm too scared. She's been contacted by my guy here as well, hasn't she? Or not, or Von Karma, she's scary enough too. Don't you remember, Phoenix? Mr. Andrew lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what you do. If you do, Mattangard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging onto them. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get not guilty. That is my only priority. It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me, I didn't kill Juan. Help, please, someone help. Okay, Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor, the court can't continue like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What? What am I supposed to do? Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who the real mastermind behind this crime. Real mastermind? Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you? The defense believes there is enough evidence to substantiate our claim. Therefore, we motion that this court passes a verdict of not guilty as soon as possible. Yeah, I figured that was the wrong choice. What have you learned in this past year? That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear the defense's theory is the truth. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however. Mr. Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. So. Mr. Edgeworth, this witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. That's the second part of the suicide report, the attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. She does not want anyone to know. If people find out, If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Edgeworth, how could you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. Now, no matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself or shall I? Either is fine with me. nothing matters anymore. Ooh. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. I realized he was dead. That was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. Stabbed the body with the knife, but why would you do that? Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? A certain cowardly man. It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. So Mr. Andrews stabbed the victim Juan Corrida in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt and Guard for the murder. And this is her crime. We wanted it so bad, we were blind to the truth. Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Okay. Oh, jeez. Fuck me. So here's the thing. I think we can all tell that there is no overtime. I didn't even press anything. That there is no overtime for this stream. I simply can't do it. I can't believe this entire stream has been spent in this trial alone, and this is just the second half. This is just the second half of this trial, and I don't. Maybe I saw it wrong on the guide, but I'm pretty sure that this isn't even the end of it. There's still another day of investigation and another day of a trial. This is a long case. I could severely underestimate how long this would be. So, once we get to the end of this trial, I will be ending the stream. Even though I was meant to end the stream 20 minutes ago. Oh boy, okay. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say you didn't know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, and that scarf is part of the costume. I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weak point to the world, and so Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. And that's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin the crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. I concede, but this testimony, it rings of the truth. I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please don't apologize to me. We were both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to press on all the statements. This was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at the dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed... So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Mac look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Unguard's hakama. Yes, that's what I planned to do. But things never go smoothly, do they? Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering at the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. That's Miss Allbag for you. I I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. So you were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. It was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is this secret? That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Angard's room and planted the button. Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. And then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word, what does this all mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Angard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Fran, huh? She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But, Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. The gavel went down very hard. Judge is left. Oh shit. I've never seen him like this. Holy fuck. I've never seen him like this. It's over, and they didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in my room that day. The room? That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body. I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Witness, that card, give it to me, hurry! Huh? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet and inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen him at Edgeworth so emotional before. That card, what in the world is it? What does it mean? To be continued? To be continued. Wait. To be continued.